Shalom, 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 Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem of Kakadash, for blessing me with the spirit to do this lesson. And in this lesson, I want to go in on this white supremacist, these white supremacists that was out in Philly. You know, and it was over 100 of them, you know, and they marched through the streets of Philadelphia with a Reclaim America sign, you know, just marching through the street, man. This just goes to show you how much of a devil and how much the so-called white man, who is Esau Edom, hates you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the Israelites, man. You are the chosen people. This is why you are hated. This is why people can't stand you, man. This is exactly why, you know, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to destroy this place. And this is why Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to destroy the so-called white man, man. Because perpetually he has hated you throughout history, man. What he's done to your ancestors and a lot of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you don't give a damn about your history, man. You don't give a damn about your ancestors. All you care about is some money, man. All you care about is a stimulus check. All you care about is getting by here in America, man. When America hates you, man. You think America, you think you have a bright future here in America? You don't have a bright future here in America. The future for America is death, destruction, right? Plagues upon plagues upon plagues from who? Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. You got buildings collapsing, right? You got pipes busting in the sea, right? You got chariot videos and sightings everywhere, every day. So this place is bound to fall, and this place is bound to be destroyed, man. It's only a matter of time, and we are at that time, man. So it would be wise for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to hearken into the words of the Lord, man, because that's going to be the only thing that's going to save you. So going back to this, you know, you got Esau Edom, the so-called white man, marching through the streets of Philadelphia with a Reclaim America sign, and who knows how many other signs out there. They just pointed that one out. But I'm going to get into it, man. And the thing is, as you're going to see, it was over 100 of them. Over 100 of them. And they were chased away by a couple of people, man. Right? So-called Negroes. I believe you had so-called Hispanics in there. And Mexicans, man. You know? How the hell is America going to say, how the hell is the so-called white man, Esau Edom, going to say Reclaim America when America was never his, man? He stole America. And he's not going to reclaim it ever again. So, this is Genesis chapter 49, verse 8. And it reads, Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise, man. Judah, which is the head tribe of the nation of Israel. Out of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, Judah is the head tribe. Judah would consist of the so-called African American Negroes, man. Right? Along with the so-called Haitians and the so-called West Indians, which are the true Jews according to the Bible, man. Right? It says, Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Who's his brethren, man? The rest of the tribes, man. The so-called Latino and Native American tribes. Right? Thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies. Because when you look at it, everywhere that the so-called white man is, he got a so-called Negro right there in order to use him to keep so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans asleep, man. They basically right there in politics, you know, banking, whatever, man. The so-called Negro is right there, right under the so-called white man, man. They got the black boule, which the so-called white man uses as a tactic to keep the so-called Negroes in check, man. You know? Because the so-called white man can't do a damn thing without the so-called Negroes, man. Right? It says, thy father's children shall bow down before thee, because Judah is the head tribe, man. Right? Everything runs through Judah. Everything flows through Judah, man. When the so-called Negroes do something, they are the first ones to do it. After that, everybody else does it, man. Judah sets trends, the southern kingdom. That would be, the southern kingdom would consist of the so-called American Negroes, West Indian Negroes, and Haitian Negroes, man. Right? Verse 9, Judah is a lion's whelp from the prey. My son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion, as an old lion, because I wouldn't say now, but still now, right? I'm not going to say completely, but now a lot of, not so many, but a lot of so-called Negroes are still asleep here and not really caring about nothing, man. They not really, in tune with what's going on. And if they do know what's going on, they just like letting it go. They just like, that's life, right? But what did the Lord say? He said, who shall rise them up? Because now the so-called Negroes are starting to see the wickedness of the so-called white man, man. Right? Through these cop killings, right? Through this type of activity right here, right? Through every damn time a so-called Negro is walking the street, you got a damn so-called white woman or a so-called white man telling him he doing something wrong, man. Just not leaving the so-called Negroes alone, man. Right? So the Lord is saying, who will rise him up? Because Judah is about to be risen up, man. Judah's going to be the first ones to rise up, man. And then after Judah rise up, who going to come? The so-called Latino tribes, man. Starting with the tribe of Ephraim, which are the so-called Puerto Ricans, man. Right? The head tribe of the northern kingdom. So the Lord is saying that. Who going to rise him up? So I'm going to play this. I got two parts to this, so I'm going to play this. And I'm going to get a couple more precepts, and we're going to go to the other part. Most High willing, the elect be edified.
And back now in Eyewitness News with a group of white supremacists who marched through the streets of Philadelphia on this 4th of July weekend.
We have 250 people in black shirts carrying a flag.
That was...
Oh, my bad. It was 250 people. Over 250 people, man. That's insane.
Was initial reports from police of what turned into a large rally in Center City. Police say it started near Love Park and stretched all the way to Penn's Landing. They also say along that route, counter-protesters erupted. And this is video sent to Eyewitness News from a counter-protester. Police say about 200 people affiliated with the group Patriot Front took part in the protest. Officers say that they were wearing face coverings and carrying flags.
Because that's what the so-called white man does. He's a coward, man. He comes out and he covers his face, man. Because a lot of these so-called white men that you see right here, they are your doctors. They are your lawyers. Right? They are your COs. They have authority here in America, man. So they hide their face so you won't know who they are. The same thing with the KKK, man. They don't want to be known as white supremacists, man. But the jig is up, man. The Most High is lifting up that veil, man. Showing the whole world the wickedness of the so-called white man, man.
And shields. They were also chanting Reclaim America and the election was stolen. As the group made their way across Center City, police say multiple fights broke out with counter-protesters. They say at one point smoke bombs went off. We spoke with one of the counter-protesters.
And a lot of this be psyop too. A lot of this thing be set up, man. A lot of these things be set up, man, because honestly the elites want chaos out here. The elites want chaos here in America, man. They want anarchy, man. That's what they want, right? But they really don't want that because for all of the rape, robbery, and murder that the so-called white man has done to the so-called Negroes, the Negroes had never fought back as a whole, man. But the Most High has his spirit and certain people, right, that are going to come together and bring this man down. The Lord is in control of it all, man. The Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, is in control of each and everything that goes on here in America. Right? And the so-called white man, he doesn't realize, because the Most High don't want him to get it, man. The Most High wants to destroy this man. And he's going to destroy this man, man. Right? Nobody's as strong as the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans here in America, man. That's why the so-called white man has to have his guns. But what did the Most High say? The Most High said, Jeremiah 51:20, thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, man. So the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, is going to use the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans as a battle axe, man. And if you at war and you got a battle axe, man, hey, you doing some damage, man. Can't nobody stand up to a battle axe hit, man. Right? It says, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. So the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, is going to use the so-called, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, whether you want to believe it or not, whether you just want to stand in the back and think that you're going to be able to just get through it. Hell no, man. If it's set up for you to go down with, to get out there and go head up, that's what it's going to be, man. You can't hide. It's going to be complete hell out here, man. And if you can't see it, hey, I don't know what to tell you, man. The Most High about to use his people to bring down these kingdoms, man. To bring down these nations, to break in pieces these nations.
Who says that he was injured during the confrontation. He says he was surprised not only that the rally was happening, but that others jumped in to stand up to the group.
Yeah, I was shocked. In the moment, I was shocked. I mean, does it shock me that white supremacists assemble? No. But it was a shocking kind of moment because I hadn't heard of anything happening in the city. I was happy to see that people joined in to make them feel unwelcome in Philadelphia.
The mayor tweeted out earlier today that while he respects everyone's right to free speech, his administration stands against everything the group represents. Stay with Eyewitness News as we continue to follow this story.
And it's crazy because the same thing happened when George Floyd died, right? You had all these so-called white people who joined in with the so-called Negroes and was causing all types of damage, and the media was blaming it on you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. So it'd be a lot of traps going on. So you got to be circumspect, Israel. You got to understand that this devil is full of tricks, man. The so-called white man is a trickster, man. He's the devil, man. He's a deceiver. He puts out an agenda and hope that you're going to bite on it, man. You know? But the men of the Lord ain't dealing with that, man. Because we understand everything is in its time. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to work it all out. This devil can't do nothing, right? Without Yahweh Shem Yahushua telling him to, right? Or giving him the power to. Right? So from there, right? Let me switch over. Right. This is I think this goes a little bit more in depth.
It is now 9:02.
Right. So this is Jeremiah 30:16. Because the so-called white man, he like I said, man, it's all downhill for him from here on out, man. He's never gonna rise up again. He's never gonna take control or reclaim anything, man, because nothing is his, man. This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thy adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. So all the enemies of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, all the enemies of the Israelites, which are the so-called Chinese, Japanese, East Indian, African, Arab, and the so-called white man, man. All of them are enemies to the nation of Israel. All of them are enemies to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. The Lord said, verse 16 again, Jeremiah 30:16. It says, therefore, all they that devoured thee, didn't they devour us, man? They was proud when they had us in captivity, man. They did some of the most horrific things unto us during the time that they had us in slavery, man. Right? It says, I will bring again the captivity. Oh, Salakia, I'm in the 18th verse. Therefore, all they that devoured thee shall be devoured. It's going to be a payback. Right? And all thy adversaries, all thy enemies, every one of them shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all they that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. So it's going to be a complete reversal, man. A complete reverse. Everything that these nations did unto us, we're going to do unto them. Double, man. Double. And the Most High said it, man. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at brothers that's telling you your judgment, you damn nations. Y'all did a whole lot of wickedness, man. Y'all raped, robbed, murdered. Y'all did some of the most horrific things to the nation of Israel. And y'all think y'all not going to be paid back for that? Y'all out of y'all damn minds, man. Everybody else can get judged. The nation of Israel can get judged. Who the Lord loves, they can be judged. But you other nations, you get a pass. You don't get no damn pass, man. The hell with you, man.
And new this morning, only Action News was there as protesters associated with the white supremacist group Patriot Front marched through the heart of Philadelphia. Counter-protesters confronted that particular group. Police did respond to the scene that you see right here. That march coming ahead of today's visit by First Lady Jill Biden, and her security is heightened for the 4th of July. Action News reporter Becca.
And then, look at that, man. Jill Biden came, and this happened. It'd be a lot of setups, man. You know? Let me see. This is let me see what I want. This is, let me see, 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, man. Because this is a device, man, that he's trying to use to lure in the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. He pushing that racist, white supremacist thing, man, which had been here. But now these white supremacists are openly just coming, and Esau always been a damn racist. He invented the word. He is the word, man. Right? He's a savage, man. Everything he calls the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, he is that, man. Right? That's him. But right now, you got brothers on the highways and hedges telling our people, telling you so-called Negroes who you are, who your enemy is. You don't want to listen. Right? Right now, the men of the Lord are fishing. The servants of the Lord are fishing, man. We fishing for souls, man, to come back to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And we can't do that. We can be the mouthpiece, but we can't do that. If our people don't want to hear, our people don't want to get right, hey, it's because the Most High don't want them to get right. Whether it's